Cropfeed 3 is an irrigation and fertilization software. Let us start first by the irrigation part. We have here the flow chart. We start first by the crop, which one we are growing, what are the growing phase, how is looking the root system, and we move to an irrigation program. So let us start by deciding which crop we are going to grow. We have a choice between more than 200 different crops. And now, for instance, we want to test open field tomato. So the next step will be, what are the growing phase, phenologic phase? So we enter the screen. We have first to decide if I'm going in a greenhouse, outside, open field. So here we decide about open field. What is the method of irrigation? A very wide range of method. Drip. What is the day of sowing, of planting? And the month. And where are we growing this open field tomato? Suppose that I want to do it in Kenya. What is the area, the town or the proximity where I'm growing? Here, for instance, I'm doing it in Nairobi. If I have details on variety, I shall note it. And what will be, for instance, the yield I'm expecting if I have this data. What are the growing phase? I can change the name of the growing phase, the number of days for each one of them. I do the correction of the calendar. So I decide by this way of the different phase of growing. But I have also possibility to pick it from the database, personal database of each crop separately. And here, tomato, different previous example. I capture an example here, for instance, in Israel, or it could be in India, in Pune, or let us look, for instance, I previously did an example of a tomato in Nairobi, in Kenya. So let us capture it, but I want to change the planting date, transplanting date. For instance, here I want it for the 1st or 4th of June. So I do the correction of the calendar. And I can change here everything, including the crop coefficient, irrigation parameters. For instance, here I want to change 0.7 to 0.75. And if I accept it, let us save it and work with this frame for the crop. Next step will be the root system and the soil parameters. So I enter this screen, root system. We decide previously that we work in drip, okay? So here, for instance, I can decide about the width of the bed. For instance, 1.6 meter, the number of lines that I have in the bed, the spacing between the drippers, suppose, for instance, 25 centimeter, the flow rate of the dripper, suppose 1.6 liter, distance between the line, and it will calculate for me automatically the precipitation rate of this irrigation system. Now I have to fill also the data regarding the soil. What is the field capacity of this field and the wilting point? So the available water will be the gap between them. What is the percentage of wetting area? For instance, here I decide that it will be 60% of the bed is wetted. And also I can decide about how deep and how far, what is the shape of the root zone. Suppose that in the layer of 0.30 I have 60%. And between 30 to 60 centimeter depth I have 20%, and the deeper one is 10%. Okay, so basically I have here decided about the shape, the volume, the water holding capacity, the method of irrigation. All the parameters of water management are here regarding the holding capacity and the root system. I save the data. Now I have to move to irrigation planning. Okay, now we enter the screen. So we want to take this crop that we decided previously to grow it in Kenya. So I shall enter Africa. I shall move to Kenya. And in Kenya, I shall capture the climate of Nairobi. I capture it. Generally, there is an efficiency regarding the rainfall. Suppose that it's 80% efficiency. And now I shall capture the evaporation and rainfall during the specific period that I'm growing. The software is doing the calculation of the crop water requirement daily, water availability, the deficit, the crop water requirement, the efficient rainfall, the deficit for each phase. And on clicking on, I have now the frame of the irrigation program, the number of irrigation, the interval, how much I'm going to irrigate for each irrigation, how much for each phase, and how much total need of water for all the season to fill the gap that I need in the root system. Now, in fact, I have the frame of the irrigation program. I can save it, return to the menu. And now the next step will be a daily irrigation program, a detailed program. So now I shall enter the screen. These are all the data that I have captured previously. And I shall transfer all the data to a table with the daily balance. The rooted zone, the depth, the crop coefficient, the evaporation, the crop water requirement, every daily balance of the water management. Or I can look only for the day where I shall apply irrigation. So I have here the table, and I have a possibility to change number, to increase, to reduce, depending on what is going in the field and following the control. And I shall save this irrigation program. The software has been developed by Elrar Gad from Elgad Agro System. Thank you very much.